our presenter tonight. So Shannon is going to be talking to us about recruiting. Yay! Take it away, Shannon.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay, I have a dog under me and a cat, so we're going to see how that goes.
Okay.
Okay, so I get to talk to you guys tonight about recruiting. This is absolutely my favorite topic because it's one of my favorite things to do. I am going to throw a lot of information at you guys, so if you have questions, you can just put them on the side, but hopefully I'll cover a lot of the information you guys need to hear about. First of all, let's talk about recruiting and sponsoring and why it is so important. Mary Christensen says that you can sell all day long, but sales are for today's income and sponsoring is for tomorrow's income. Yeah. So it's very, very important to remember this. I'm going to talk to you about different points with recruiting and sponsoring, so you might want to have some pen and paper with you. But when you sponsor, it needs to just become a part of you, just like your arm, just like your leg. It needs to become part of your lifestyle, something you're ready to go all the time. Be able to find a way to be able to put something in a conversation without making it feel awkward, because it's something that you love, you're passionate about, and it bleeds out whenever people see you. They know you are the Scentsy lady, the Scentsy man, the Scentsy boss, the boss babe, whatever you want to call yourself. They know you're passionate about what you do. And so therefore they'll start following you and things like that on Facebook. So when you leave your house, the first thing I always tell my team is you need to always put by your front door the 50-10. I don't know if y'all know about this, but Jacqueline Roy talks about the 50-10. It's 50 samples by your front door and 10 opportunity packets. Never leave your house without samples and opportunity packets, ever. Becca Levi talks about 3 questions. Never miss talking to people about the 3 things of asking to host, join, or buy from you. She talks about a story where she went to her friend's house and she had the testers with her and she was so excited to share them with her. And the girl started smelling and said, okay, what do you want to buy? And the girl's like, well, I don't really want to buy anything. She's like, oh, okay. She said she started packing up her things and she's like, well, do you want to host a party? And the girl's like, no, I don't want to host a party. Then she got to the door and all of a sudden she was like, well, do you want to join? And she's like, yes, I never thought you would ask. So you always want to ask those 3 questions. Super important. I'm going to show you really quickly and then, we can all post them. But opportunity packets. This is super simple. And Marcy, who is on here, gave us this idea on our team page because I didn't particularly like the folders that we were buying from the Scentsy Family Store. So she came up with an idea to buy just a regular folder like for school and cut it in half and fold it and then decorate the front. And that way it's like a little folder that you can give out to people with your opportunity. And then you can put things in it. And we can talk about that later. But I have like different things about me, about the join opportunity. I have a sample. And then I even made a little brochure about myself on VistaFriend. But you never, ever want to leave the house without join information. Just remind me to go back to it because I'll forget. Okay. So branding yourself is another way that you can get people to talk to you about the opportunity. Yesterday when I was at the hospital, my dad's been in the hospital for 3 days. I had on a shirt, talked about the opportunity on the back of my shirt, and had 2 people stop me in the hospital. I wasn't there for that reason. I was there to see my dad. But brand yourself, always. People are always either looking for bulbs, wax, their Scentsy consultant didn't call them back, or maybe they moved. You never know. So brand yourself, brand your car, do all that. So I want to ask you a question right now, and I want you to think about this and put this on in the chat. And I want you to think about this. What are you not doing because it makes you uncomfortable when it comes to sponsoring? Yeah. I want you to think about that. What are you not doing because it makes you feel uncomfortable? All right, so we'll see these over here. But the comfort zone is a great place, right? It's so comfortable and it's so safe and nothing bad can happen to us. But your dreams are not in your comfort zone. Your dreams are outside your comfort zone. That's where all the things that you've ever wanted, your desires, are outside of the comfort zone. So you have to push away from that, okay? When I started Scentsy, my husband gave me the best advice he ever could give me. He said to me, don't sell to my friends, don't sell to my family. I want you to go outside your comfort zone. Scared me to death. I was like, what? But it worked. I went to the church. I went to salons. I talked to different people. Started talking to strangers. It became so much easier for me to talk to a stranger than it was my own family and friends, because it's something that I wanted to be able to master so that whenever my friends and family saw that I was really good at this craft, they wanted to come to me instead of me going to them. Yeah. So that would answer somebody's question about bugging. Go outside that comfort zone first, get comfortable there, and then go to the people that are in your circle, right? Yep. Because you don't want people to be like, oh gosh, she's going to talk to me about Scentsy again. No. You want to be able to build relationships to where it doesn't have to get to that point. So something I want you to write down on a piece of paper is, what is your why? Why are you in Scentsy? Okay? But here's something that's even more important than your why. Why do you stay? That is something that I have learned at my parties or events, that people don't really care why I joined. They want to know why I stayed for 8 years. And I can say to them, I stay because Scentsy awards and recognizes me for everything I do. They've blessed me financially. They have taken me on trips of a lifetime. I've met friends that are absolutely priceless. I found a Shannon I never even thought that I could be through this. I mean, I can just tell you all the reasons I stay. And people are like, wow, okay. Because some people will join, for the discount, or join for just 3 months and then fall off. But when you stay, that's where the power is. And you have to believe in yourself and believe that you are worthy of that when you're talking to people. So we're going to talk about some ways that you can sponsor, okay? The first thing with home parties. I don't know how many guys do home parties, but home parties are super important if you really want to get some time with people, one-on-one when you're closing with them especially. But when I'm at the parties, a game that I like to play is who would be most successful. Who here could do what I'm doing? And then I'll give everybody like a drawing slip, and they'll write down somebody at that party who they think could do what I'm doing. Now, do you know what that does? What it does is it gives that person confidence that these people believe in them, that they could do it. And then they get a prize from me. And it'll be like a little join kit with like a scent circle in it. And then we'll have a little coffee date time to meet and talk about this. A lot of time it's the hostess. And the reason it's the hostess is because I hostess coach very, very well. Do you know that 85% of my team is gifting parties to them and flipping them? Because I believe if you will give the hostess every tool they need to be able to have a successful party before they open that door when the party starts, then they could easily do what you do. And normally, like I said, a lot of people vote on the hostess. Another way that I meet people is events. And they don't have to be expensive events. They can be very inexpensive events. And whenever you meet people, you give out these opportunity kits. Yep. You have your drawing slips. You are able to tell them if they're buying $75 worth, $100 worth of stuff, you could be your best customer by joining and getting paid on what you just bought. So you can absolutely have those little recruiting seeds whenever you're doing events. Social media. This is really big, especially this day and time. Social media is when you can turn the likes into conversation. It's whenever you contact people and you say, thank you so much for liking my post. It means so much to me. And then you can take it wherever you want to. There are people, I was telling Robin in Punta Cana, there was a girl that had a bathing suit. I loved it. I messaged her and I was like, oh my gosh, I love your bathing suit. Where did you get it? And she told me where she got it from. And she was like, oh, and you can get it from here, here, and here. And I was like, I really need it. I'm leaving for my trip to go to Punta Cana. She's like, well, what are you going to Punta Cana for? Boom. I was able to bring up Scentsy right then and there just by telling her I loved her bathing suit that she put on her page. Or I'll reach out to people and tell them happy birthday. Or you want to look through and see if anybody's had anything exciting going on in their life. Take 5 minutes in the morning, 3 minutes if you need to, and just scroll through your Facebook feed and like people's posts and start building those relationships, because that's where it starts, is building those relationships. I mean, it's gone from small as I messaged someone one time and asked them what kind of mascara they used because their eyelashes were incredible in their photos. And then we went from there and ended up having a recruiting conversation. So you always want to be able to plant those seeds that way. Let's see, whenever you get to that point of they like you, they know you, and they trust you, that's whenever they're going to refer you, join underneath you, or buy from you. So that leads me to referrals. You always want to ask for referrals. Always. One thing that I found is I will send out an email every now and then to my hostesses or my customers and ask them for referrals. And there's a couple of things that you can take as telltale signs that they want to join. One is when they're protecting their circle. So they'll come back and they'll say, I'm not sure I want to give you my, friends' names and things like that, because I'm thinking about doing it myself. So when I start asking for referrals, I can see they're protecting their circle. Another thing is when I'm doing basket parties and they give me back the order forms, but it just has the first names and none of the addresses or the emails or the phone numbers, they're protecting their circle. So I'll usually say to them, hey, are you protecting your circle? And they'll go, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I need to give them the best customer service I possibly can as a Scentsy consultant. And by you not giving me their information, I'm not going to be able to make those fun samples for them and do this and that. I was like, you must be thinking about joining, aren't you? Like, yeah, I am. So that's kind of like a tell.
I love that.
So,
That's awesome.
So another thing is following up. Whenever you use the systems that we're going to talk about with following up, you're going to always put in people's hands different things to try. They're going to be able to give you feedback. You're going to want them to tag you on Facebook. And the more and more that they can see that their friends like their post, they may consider joining because they've already got an audience behind it. Yeah. Whenever I'm doing basket parties, whenever I give them, I do it 2 times. Whenever I give them the basket party, I go through everything with hostess coaching. And I say, you can either write the check to me or they can write it to you. This way, if they write it to them, they have a way of being able to enter the party themselves when they join. And then there's not all that confusion of who's going to get what check. At the end, I will say to them again, you got this much free, you got this much half off, and this is how much you would make when I enter this party. And they'll remember because I've already told them one time in the beginning when I hostess coached them that they could do this. And a lot of times they'll say, yeah, why not? Because if they make $100, that's their kit right there, right?
Yeah.
So you always want to remember these things. I had a girl, I wrote on my Facebook, I went live with my counter clean. I don't know if you guys saw it, but my kids took a permanent marker and wrote all over the mantle of my fireplace. And so I went live and I showed them using the counter clean, cleaning up their mess. I had over like 30 people be like, oh my gosh, I got to have that. That is so amazing. That is so great. And so then the next day I did a special on my counter cleans that you had to message me about. I got like 10 or 12 people, but I asked them to share it on their page. And there was one girl that got 5 people to message me about the counter cleans because she shared it on her page. There's power in getting people to share your post and getting people to follow you and going live.
Yeah.
So another thing is gratitude in this business and appreciation, and always what you put out there will come back to you. And you see, I had a friend, and a lot of my team knows my friend, but I had a friend named Gladys, and she was like the world to me. She was part of my Scentsy journey. Absolutely amazing. Well, she died 2 years ago, and it was very, very, very hard for me because she was in my life every day. She was constantly reminding me on the days that I had bad days that go ahead and give thanks. Go ahead and give thanks because go ahead and put it out there because it's coming your way. People are waking up every day to meet you, Shannon. Don't give up. That's what she'd say to me. So I had a super hard time with getting around all this with her being gone. So I made a Gladys system for me, for my customers and my hostesses, which I'm going to share with you guys. And you can make your own system, but this is something that I do to make sure that each one of my customers and hostesses feel like I care about them. Because people want to feel valued. They want to feel, like they count. They don't want to be forgotten. That's the worst feeling in the world when I see people at events where they're like, my Scentsy consultant forgot about me. She never called me back. So the first thing for Gladys is G, which is gratitude. I'm always thankful. I will even send out a message to my first host and tell her, because you hosted for me 8 years ago, Amy booked a party, and then Jenny joined, and Jenny's now a director, and all this started because you said yes, and I want to thank you for that. So I will send out like 5 different gratitude things a week. Then there's L for love. I want to make sure they feel the love from me. This goes for my team. This goes for my customers, for my hostesses. I even try and do this in my whole life. A is appreciation. I like to do VIP appreciation events at my home, and I like to pamper people. A lot of times I'll call people and say, choose 5 people that you really care about that I can pamper this week. And then I'll give them little goodie bags they can pass out. And all they have to do is just post on my page how they liked it. And then I'll put them in a drawing for a scent circle or something. D is deep. You've got to go deeper than just the scent that they like. You've got to know what their kids like, and what sports their kids are in, and when their anniversary is, and when their birthday is, and what their favorite color is, and what their restaurant is. And you will get to know this over time. You can even do a Google form and send out a survey to some of your awesome customers and hostesses and have all these things on it so you can just file it away. So whenever you remember someone saying, I've always wanted to go to Punta Cana, and all of a sudden since he says, we're going to Punta Cana, you can send that to them and say, hey, I remember when you told me you've always wanted to go to the Dominican. Hey, look where we're going. So you always want to do things like that. Why? This is a big one. This is you. Because I've learned the hard way, you can't cookie cut yourself. You can't be the Jill McCarthy's and the Becca Levi's and the Katie Farners and all these people that everybody follows. You have to be you.
Yep.
They're buying because you're you. They're not buying because you can do something someone else did. They can go online and buy the Scentsy product from anyone. It's you and how you are and how you handle that relationship with them. So be unique to yourself, brand yourself. Yeah. Did somebody just say, I thought someone said something. And brand yourself and get yourself out there. And then S is going to be, can you hear that, Robin?
Yeah, I picked up.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Got it. Somebody joined and I just had to mute them. You're good. Keep going.
Okay, so why is you? Be unique to yourself. Don't try and be someone else. S is servant's heart. You've got to have a servant's heart in this business. You treat every customer like they are your best customer. You've got to just serve them, make sure that they have what they need, and apologize when you screw up and you forget the bulb and you wrote it down and it fell down into the crack of your car and you see them 3 weeks later. Don't lie. Just say, you know what, I totally forgot. I'm so sorry, but you reported it to me. Always be honest. When you're honest, that's going to keep them with you because we're human. We're going to make mistakes. So I'm huge in gratitude. Write down, a couple of your best hostesses right now and contact them and say, give me 5 people that I could pamper, and make up those little pampering sets with the little counter cleans and the body souffle or the whiffs or whatever. Give them like 3 products to try and then to tag you on Facebook. Have a VIP group.
Yep.
You can get a secret VIP group. Don't do anything publicly, but you can do VIP groups. And you constantly want to follow up. I'm telling you, the 3 things is that you just don't give up, you do hard work, and you don't quit. I mean, that's 3 things. You have to show up every single day. Yep. When you're ready to open up your Scentsy office, you're ready. You're all in. Another thing, make sure that your story is on your website. There are people scrolling Scentsy websites looking to, join. And if they don't relate to your story, or if it says my story is exciting and I hadn't written it yet, they're not going to go underneath you. So you need to make sure that your story is on your website. You got to remember that people join for different reasons, okay? So something big could be opportunity nights and bacon nights, become a consultant opportunity night. You can get your team, you can get a couple of you to have one of these nights and host it on Facebook, and you get them to put their stories of why they joined, why they stay, and then you get people to go to that event and read through these stories, because they might not want to join under me because of the reason I joined, but they might want to, join under Susie Joe, who did it because she paid off all her debt finally. So you just never, ever know. You want to make a dream team list. These are people that you could see on your team. And I'm telling you, this is so important. A lot of people call it a chicken list too, but don't be scared. I had a girl who was amazing. She was with Mary Kay. And I was scared to ask her to join my team because she was already doing something. 6 months later, and she'd host parties for me. She hosted 3 or 4 basket parties for me. 6 months later, I was running a report for my team page, and her name was in my team. And I was like, wait a minute, that can't be the same person. And so I, look up her information on it. I'm like, dang, it's Beth. I can't believe it. And so I called her and sent her a message. I was like, hey, I'm calling to welcome you to our team. I'm your director. And I know you've done 4 parties for me. So I have to ask you, why did you join? And she said, you never asked me. So I learned the hard way. I do not miss asking one person, because if you don't ask them, somebody else will.
Yep.
You have to make sure to do these things. Okay. let's see. I have everything written down. Oh, this is a big one. This is a really good one. So when you look at your customers, you want to look at the different categories you can put them in. You can put them in host, referral, or join, okay? And then you have a notebook, and you write down every person that you've talked to. And then you write down what the conversation was with them. Are they joining conversation? Is it a hosting conversation? Is it a referral conversation? I tell everyone, I'm going to keep asking you to join my team until you tell me no. I mean, flat out, no, leave me alone. But I don't do it mean. I'm like, I'm going to keep asking you because I just think this opportunity is amazing. And I've even had some people that will say, don't quit asking me. It's just not the right time right now. But the biggest advice I can give you is that I like to look at my customers and my hostesses, and I put them in these 3 categories. You can do the host, referral, and the join, but I like to do, if you've ever read The Tipping Point, it changed my life. And it's connector, maven, and salesman. A connector is someone who knows everybody, someone who always knows where you could get the best deal or the best realtor or whatever. They have no problem talking to anyone. They don't have any if a stranger will be a friend if you leave them with them for 30 seconds, just like your husband, Robin. But a connector is someone that I like to put my different customers into. Now the mavens are the people that drive you crazy. The mavens are the people that can make or break your business. Mavens are the people that will come up to you at a booth and say, oh my gosh, is this pineapple sorbet? Oh, it smells so good. Can I have like 5 of these? Did you know that Target's having a sale right now? And I got these shoes and my daughter's getting ready to go get, a daiquiri or whatever. They know all the information and they are going to refer you. The thing about a maven is they're never going to host for you and they're never going to join your team. Instead, they're the word of mouth that will get your name out there. Because as they're leaving that event, they're going to be like, go see Shannon. She's got free pineapple sorbet samples. Go see her. And then she's going to go to the next booth and say, oh my gosh, is this hot cocoa? I just love it. Well, Shannon just gave me some pineapple sorbet. Smell this. Isn't it awesome? I mean, they don't even know that they are doing that for you. So I identify the people in my life that do that, and I keep them with baskets of scents. I give them free things, and the more and more people that they send to me, the more I reward them. In the beginning, I would be like, oh my gosh, it's Michelle again. If she wants one more thing free, I'm going to die. But then I realized, wait a minute, she is a maven. And that is how I started to grow in the school that she was at, because she would always show up with all my little samples or anything. And then the other person is sales. People who love to share. People who love to take selfies on Facebook, and they're not in Cincy yet, but they're always doing the duck face, and they're always showing something cool that they just got. Yeah. They are sales. I'll put them in my name and say, girl, you would be great at this. All you got to do is grab some counter clean and put in that selfie, and you're going to get yourself some sales. So I always look at the people that way, and it helps me because I'm able to identify them. And like I told you, always show gratitude and be thankful for your hostesses. So when you're sponsoring, there's something that you always must do, and that is to keep your eyes off of you and make it about them. You want to fill in that gap, okay? Where they are now and where they want to be. And something that I love to do is when I'm talking to someone, I'll say, well, what would make you happy? And they're like, I don't know, maybe if I quit and stayed home. Like, okay, well, right now with life, rate your life right now 1 to 10. What would it be? And they might say a 6. Like, okay, well, what would make it a 10? And they say more money, more time, more flexibility. If I had a girls' night out. And just asking them what would make it a 10, and they're giving me that information, I'm starting to fill the gap. I'm like, oh, you know what? Mindy on my team, she's a stay-at-home mom. Or, Annette on my team, she works full-time. And she does Cincy. So I'm able to fill the gap that way. And you always want to talk to them and not pressure them. Something I love to say is, hey, this may or may not be for you, but I don't want to leave you without at least sharing this with you. And then that gives them a chance to be able to say, hey, I don't feel pressured. Shannon, just gave me a way out.
Yeah.
So that's really important too. If you are failing at recruiting, I mean, I'm going to be black and white with you and tough love right here. If you're failing at recruiting and sponsoring, you're either one, your approach is wrong, or two, you're not talking to enough people. Because if you keep talking, you're going to see 2, 3, 4 years go by and they'll finally join your team. If your approach is right and you can fill that gap, then you're golden. You know, like I said, you know, different people join for different reasons. If you go live on your Facebook, and some of you guys are super scared to go live. And if you're scared to show your face, at least show your product and then kind of work your way to your nose and your face. No, I'm kidding. But you want to go live. Because when you go live, Facebook's like, hey, guys, let's build an audience for this person. And you're going to be able to reach more people. And you're going to be able to get those 3 things that will always get a customer or a hostess or a teammate, which is like, know you, and trust you. They have to do that. And people will join for different reasons. And there's an acronym. It's FORM, FORM. And that means family. They'll do it for their family, do more for their family. Occupation, and family also could be to stay at home. Yep. Occupation, they want to do this full time and have a team. They might want to do it part time. Recreation, do it as a hobby, right? Or for the money, just to have extra money. Yep. There's always a reason, and you just have to, you know, fill that gap. And you have to learn to love the word no. That's very important in this whole, you know, webinar tonight. You have to, because the difference between where you want to be and where you are right now is the no's that you're going to hear. You know, Robin and a lot of us that are sitting here, we've heard more no's than you. That's why we're here. And so you've got to be willing to hear the word no. You have to be willing to fail forward and to fail eagerly. Yeah. And to want to hear those no's, because for every no, for every so many no's, you will end up getting a yes, because a no is not no. It's a not right now, maybe later, don't forget me. It's not a no. I've never had anyone look at me and say, no, go away, don't ever message me again. No, ever. And it's just like, you know, the waitress with the gum. I know you guys have heard that. I mean, not the waitress, but the person offering the gum. If someone says to them, hey, do you want a piece of gum? And they say no, I go, okay, no problem. Well, do you want some gum? Sure, no problem, right? I'm not going to be like, well, do you not like my gum? Do you not like me? Well, why don't you like my gum? You know, well, wait a minute, I got peppermint. Let me go back and get peppermint. Do you want peppermint? And then the next day they might want some gum. I'm like, well, you didn't want gum yesterday. No, you just want to constantly offer it, just like the waitress with the coffee. Do you know that waitresses are trained to make sure that they ask everyone for dessert and coffee at the end, like at Ruby Tuesdays? They have to ask them, do you want any dessert and coffee? Yeah. And if they say no, you don't see them running to the back and crying. They're like, okay, whatever. They go to the next table. Would you like dessert and coffee? So you have to always be willing to hear the word no. It's super, super important. And I don't know if you guys know Mel Robbins. She's absolutely amazing. Most of you guys probably do, because your directors are probably just raving about her. But the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 changed my life. Absolutely changed my life. If I was sitting in the bed and I knew I needed to be doing something, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just get up and do it before that negative mindset came into me. If you are sitting at Starbucks and your barista is absolutely amazing and funny and great with the customers, you're thinking, you know what? I need to give them an opportunity kit. Yeah. And then you're walking up towards them, and by the time you get to them, you chicken out and you walk out. That's because your brain took over. But if you think, I need to give them an opportunity kit, and then you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just do it, it's going to change your life. Yep. So there's a book called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 by Mel Robbins. You guys need to look. You can follow her on Facebook. She's absolutely amazing. So I know we've heard of excuses, so I'm going to give you guys a chance over here on the right-hand side to answer some of these excuse busting for me. But when you talk to someone, they say, I'm not a salesperson. What is it that you would say back to them? Let's see what people write. A lot of people say, I am not a salesperson. Right, neither am I. It's not about selling. It's about sharing something that you absolutely love. Yeah. It's about the passion. If you have a customer who absolutely loves their products and they go online and talk about it, they're sharing. That's all they're doing. You know, you sell things all the time and you just don't realize it. If people talk about, you know, do you want a Jeep or do you want a Range Rover? You're like, I want a Jeep because blah, 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 blah. You're selling. You just don't realize it. It's an opinion. It's your passion just flowing through. So you want to let them know exactly, Marcy. You don't want salespeople on your team. You want people who share. How about that there's too many consultants? when you hear that there's too many consultants? What do y'all say about that one? Because I'm going to tell you some statistics. There's one consultant per every 1,000 household. And also, 75% of people buy air fresheners still. I mean, you can sit at the grocery store and just kind of camp out on the aisle and watch people buy air fresheners and give them samples of Scentsy all day long. Because you're going to see people, I even will go to the aisles and look through and be like, wow, they got some good smells. Wonder if any of them smell like Scentsy. I'm not going to get caught with my Scentsy shirt on doing it. But it happens. Cracker Barrel, when you're totally in there just waiting, oh, there's the Yankee candles and sit over there for your samples and hand them out. I do it all the time. My business card and a sample, so that's way better. I'm going to burn my house down. So I'm telling you, don't be scared. That's that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 thing. My kids came up with that idea. They were sitting there, Mom, look at all those people over there smelling. You need to go show them Scentsy. I'm like, you know what? You're right. And I went over there and did it. I mean, because Christian, you got to think about how a child thinks, right? You got to think about, why would you want to burn your house down? That's what my kids think. Why do you want to burn your house down by using candles? It's crazy, right? So anyway, all right. So if you think that there's too many consultants, then not everybody works their business. A lot of people put in that 1 month $200 1 month out of 3 months, but not everybody works their business. And then let's talk about how many consultants there actually are and how long that we have been in Scentsy. You know how the turnover is. So you do not have to worry about too many consultants in your area. Do you know there's 8 directors in my church? 8 in my church right down the road. So no one can tell me that this place is saturated. Okay, how about it's too expensive to start? Anybody have that one? Exactly. Let me show you how to start free. Let me show you, give them a basket party. Let them earn their kit, right? Tell them how much product is in the kit, how it has everything they need to be successful. So, yeah, I like that. That's perfect. Gather your orders, then join. Perfect. Okay, too busy. People that are too busy. John Maxwell actually talks about you want to actually go after the people that are too busy. Too busy are the people that you need to attract because your vibe is going to be your tribe. If you're that kind of person that you can multitask and you can get things done, you need to look for people like that.
Yeah.
So, exactly. You will earn it back at your launch. And too busy, that's basket parties, online parties, Facebook parties. I know people who do 5 and 6 Facebook parties, a month, and they hit their 2,000 just out of their own home by having a Facebook party wall. They have one wall in their house, a Facebook party wall. So, there is no excuse here for anyone not to ever hit. I know we can say 200 1 month out of 3, but there's no excuse for you not to put $500 every single month and get paid on your downline and be a leader that you are. Because Scentsy is giving us the tools. All you have to do is you got to get out there and you got to just work it and walk it and talk it and show that passion. So last one is don't know anybody. Is anyone ever here? Well, I don't know anybody. Well, I'm going to tell you what. I didn't know a soul whenever I got here. My husband's from here. I'm not. And he already told me I couldn't talk to his friends and family. So I had to jump out of my comfort zone real quick and hope for a parachute because I wanted to make this work. I loved it that much. I was passionate about it. I would go through the drive-thrus and people were like, oh, my God, your car smells so good. And I'm like, I know, right? It's Scentsy. And here's the thing. I joined for the discount. I didn't want a team. I didn't want to do parties. I didn't want any of this stuff. I even told my husband, I just want my house to smell good. But I couldn't shut up about it. I couldn't stop talking about it. So you've just got to really own you. Figure out what are you good at. Start liking people's Facebook posts. Start following up with them that way. Make it a point to have conversations every single day. I have a point to do 5 conversations a day. You know why? Because if I'm out from Monday to Friday, there's 25 new people I've talked to about the Scentsy opportunity that I can follow up with later. If I'm not out and about, then I'll do it through Facebook, or I'll do it through text, or I'll do it through phone calls. The whole point of recruiting is just to do it. Yeah. Do it. Consistently, don't give up, and do it hard work. And that's all I got for you.
That's pretty awesome, Shannon. Does anybody have questions before we start going through our panel? Because I want to see if anybody else has anything to say. Eva, did you have anything yet I wanted to add? Mandy, Trista?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Yeah, I can actually add something that happened today. So I went to get my hair done, and of course I'm always thinking to myself, okay, when I walk out the door I have to be prepared. You know, you don't go run your errands without your grocery list, you know, your wallet. You got to be prepared. So if you're going out and your purpose is to connect with someone, whether it's to host a party, join, whatever, you have to have your stuff. So I made sure I had on, you know, my Scentsy shirt. Right there's my Scentsy shirt. And I carry these in my purse all the time. It just has a scent circle. It has Scentsy Fresh. It has a product sheet, and it has a join brochure, my business card. So I carry that with me. But I also had this with me. Okay. And I know there were a lot of cups, tumblers made for the Punta Cana trip. And there were some that were like a light, I don't know, like a light purple, a light blue. Yeah. And then the print was kind of light, and it said Scentsy real small, like Punta Cana trip. They were pretty, but like I need this to stand out. Yeah. Like I never would see Scentsy on that cup from a distance at all. So fast forward, I got my hair done, and of course my hairdresser, she keeps a warmer there, and she needed light bulbs today. It turned into a $20 order. I went up front and I sat my cup down on the counter, and the guy sitting behind me, he's like 70 years old. He was like, "Oh, Scentsy." And I was like, "Yeah, Scentsy." And he's like, "Oh, I know someone who sells Scentsy, Melissa Needy. She does animal rescue." And I said, "She's on my team. She's amazing. She saves animals every day. That's what she does." And he's like, "She's so awesome." I'm like, "I know, it is awesome." And the girl at the register, well, the girl that was checking me, you know, out, I was paying my bill and making my next appointment, she was new. I didn't notice her. And I guess the other girl that worked there, she had found a new job. And we finished up our transaction, and I just said to her, I said, "Hey, I want to share something with you. I don't know if you've ever tried Scentsy before, but I want to give you this." And I told her it was a scent circle, and this is Scentsy Fresh. It's kind of like Febreze. You spray it on fabric, whatever. She's like, "Oh, that's so nice. Thank you." And I'm close with Tara, the girl that does my hair. She owns the place. So jokingly, I was like, "Hey, not sure how much Tara's paying you." So I said, "But if it's not enough and you want to make extra money, let me know, because you could totally do this." She's like, "You think?" And I was like, "Oh, I know so." She looked like she was probably about 20. You know, she's a millennial, so that's a good thing. And she's like, "Hey, extra money is always good." I said, "And you earn free trips." So I just got back from Punta Cana. She's like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "Nope, it's all free." She's like, "Wow, that's amazing." And I was like, "What's your name again?" She's like, "Haley." So in my mind, I'm thinking, Haley. I get out into my car, you know, I'm putting her name in my notes on my phone. Yep. And I said, "Hey, we should get together sometime, do coffee or lunch, and talk about Scentsy." She's like, "I love that." And I was like, "Great." And I walked out. I'm like, yes. I like came prepared, you know, because there are so many times I have left unprepared, and then you're kicking yourself all the way home. Don't be Scentsy naked. Yeah. Now, if there was no other way, Scentsy naked. If there was like, she's someone like I know where she works, you know, I can get in touch with her. I can call in there and speak to her. Had she been someone I would just met along the way, I would have had to try to get her information from her.
Now, Eva, stop right there, because there's a question on the panel right now asking.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Is getting the nerve to get the contact information to follow up with afterwards, like after giving them a packet.
Right.
How do you work that into the conversation without sounding like a stalker?
Well, with that, you can just, you know, like I said, if you have which I do have them on me, with her, like I know how to contact her. I know where she works. I'm going to be back there again in 3 weeks. But, cause I got to get pretty before, you know, I go to my next trip. But, if you have your slip with you, what's the slip? No. Yes. You have that with you. You can just say, "Hey, would you mind giving me your information? That way I can get in touch with you." Or, you know, if it's just someone you just met, like I said, you can say, I do a drawing once a month. I like to enter you in my drawing. to win something or whatnot. And you just ask them to fill it out. If not, if you have your pen, you could just ask them, hey, what's your name, your phone number? You can give them the slip, ask them to fill it out and screenshot it and send it to you if you don't feel like being too pushy. That way they can send it to you on their own. But if you always carry those slips with you, you can approve people with those.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I do. I find common ground. That's the thing, is you got to find common ground.
Yeah, for the guys who don't carry purses.
Do what? Yeah. Yeah.
And I think sometimes you can read people if they feel approachable or not, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can read them and their body language if you're paying attention. You really can. Robin and I are both doing like this.
So, Natasha, I sent that out last week. You would have got that in the mail while I was in Punta Cana.
Yeah.
You can photocopy that, right? So if you don't have them from the family store, you can just photocopy this, and I can upload this to the file section of the group after.
It's probably the exact same thing, and I don't know how well you can see it, but I just printed it out on my computer. At the very bottom, it says, if they're in a hurry, I'm in a hurry, snap a picture of this with your cell phone and text it to me. I think we've talked about that on one of the calls before. And then you see it's on a regular piece of paper. I'm going to cut it down, but on the back, I have been printing out the top 10 reasons to join. So I'll stick this in with my sample packs or whatever, and I'm like, oh, just take a picture of it and text it to me. So, and then I just cut it down to size. I can put like 2 or 3 on a sheet.
Look, I have a director. She's on here. Annette, I wish you would unmute yourself because I'm going to mess up the story. I'm going to give her a second. Annette, are you on there?
Yes, I am.
You got Annette. Do you have video, Annette?
Hello, how are you?
Annette, you've got
Hi,
to
Shannon. What do you want me to tell?
the shoe store. The shoe.
Oh, God. I worked with another direct sales company, and we were going on a trip. So I said, well, what am I going to do? So I went with the girl that was training me to the shoe store. So we're sitting there, and I'm trying on shoes, and this woman kept walking past me. She's like, you've tried on so many pairs of shoes. And I said, yes, ma'am. She said, what are you doing? Well, there was my opportunity to just tell them about, at that time was a different company. I can't even remember, Shannon, what else I said to this poor woman. It's been 25 years. I can't remember.
You asked her which one she liked.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's right. And I asked her which shoe that she liked. So she stood there talking to me. Well, before you knew it, we had just struck up this great conversation. I got her information. She got my information. And she wound up joining my team with this other company. This is like 25 years ago. And the other thing that I always share with Shannon is, like you, I think Ava was saying that you always go with something Scentsy on you or with you or whatever. And I always talk about I always say about putting your sticker on the back of your car. And Shannon knows this story, that I was coming home from work, and I'm a nurse by trade. So I was coming home about 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the afternoon. And this car was tailing me like super close. And I go over into the other lane so she could pass. Well, she wouldn't pass. She'd move over with me, and we'd go vice versa. And I was at the point of like really getting ticked off about this, that I was like slam my brakes on or something, Well, I finally turned to go down my road, and all of a sudden my phone rang, and it was this woman. She said, is this Annette Cash? And I said, yes, it is. She said, I am so sorry. I am the crazy black woman that's been tailgating you all the way down Route 11. I was like, oh my God. She goes, I was trying to write your telephone number down, but you kept speeding up and changing lanes. So she finally wrote my number down, and she is like one of my best customers. She runs a daycare. She knew about Scentsy, but everybody that she came in contact with never followed up. So that's another thing too, like Ava was saying, that make sure that you're labeling yourself and your vehicle, because that opens so many conversations right there.
Cool. Thank you for sharing it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Mandy, did you have anything you wanted to add? Mandy?
Multitasking.
There you are.
No, follow-up systems, you got to find what works for you. And it took me a long time to find one that works for me, because you can go on so many different, there are probably hundreds of YouTubes, do a follow-up binder like this, do it like this, do it like this. And I finally found my system is just a simple spreadsheet on my computer. And that works for me because I can go, look right date. And then I have a tiny little notebook that I just keep. I have 3 of them. I have one in the van, one in the Prius, and one in my purse. So I've got it with me wherever I am, and that is what's working for me.
Yep.
So find if it's a legal pad, if it's a notebook, if it's a binder, whatever it is, find the system that works for you so that you can keep doing it and keep up with it.
Yeah, I love that. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, anybody else have anything they want to add? Oh, people are asking, Shannon, people are asking to see your recruiting packages, and then I'm going to give my 2 cents.
Okay, so it's very simple. Like I said, Marcy gave us this idea with the folders to cut them in half, and then you can get the little stickers from the family store. And I actually made that sticker on Vistaprint. It's my story on one little sticker, and I think I saw, Mandy, I forget who it was. Was it you? Okay.
I do it.
Yeah.
I do it.
Okay, so I do that, and then sling it at the bottom. And then on the inside, there's a sentence circle. There's a little brochure I made about myself and the places I've gone and traveled. Okay, I'm going to take a picture of it. I don't like the script of it, so I'm going to redo it. The information that Scentsy gives us about joining. 10 reasons to sell Scentsy. That I think is in our workstation.
Yep.
And then we have this little form that we made. It says, so you want to join our team, here are some fun facts to get you started. And then it has my team name on the side, and it's just information that they just need to know about how do you stay active, that you don't have to have any stock, the tax rate and the zip code and how much you can earn and all the little questions that people want to know about. So if you give them a little kit with all the information in it, and sometimes I put other samples in there. I just grabbed this one out of my bag. This was what I took to Punta Cana. Then they kind of can go online and hit join and feel like they've got a lot of knowledge without actually talking to you yet. And then whenever you talk to them, you set up your whole way to train them, which is a whole nother webinar. So yeah, that's what I put in mine.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Hey, can I add one more thing?
Yeah. Who's talking?
Eva.
Eva, where are you? I lost you. There you go. Oh, wait. Switch. There we go.
Hello. So, we've talked about when we mention joining to someone and they tell us no, they tell us no, they tell us no. I've had people tell me no for 5 years, and then all of a sudden they join. You just never know, right?
Yeah.
So, there's this lady that I was talking to. We've talked several times. She's thought about joining. She asked me information. I give her the information. She never bites. It's just always there. And I don't want to keep bothering her, right? So I get this message from her yesterday. Now, the last we spoke was April 2nd or something. She messages me yesterday. And this is where I tell people, you're better off to show people on Facebook how Scentsy's benefiting your life and the things that you do, and how happy it makes you. You don't just say, join my team. Don't put some generic flyer on there that everyone's using saying, join my team, join my team. And I'm really trying to get out of the join my team concept. Because this isn't where we're joining a sorority or a clique, things like that. It's hey, you start your own business. That I think that's a better approach with starting their business. But she messages me and she says, out of the clear blue, okay, since I've been down and out with my ankle issues, I really need to earn money. Your posts are making me jealous. We need to sit down and talk. She sees me in Punta Cana having a great time. She's all banged up at home with a bummed ankle, I said, man, girl, I'm so sorry you're going through that. Let's change your situation.
Yep.
And she said, yes, I have all the time in the world to meet up with you. My ankle has me inactive. I might as well do something while I'm sitting around.
Yep.
And I'm like, yes, you can work from your phone. And so we're meeting this Friday. So, that's just showing that just because they've said no, when people want to join is the big deal too, is a thing, because it may not be a good time for them. And it's not you. It may just be it's not a good time for them. And so touching base, I didn't touch base with her. She did with me. But had I reached out to her, it could have been different. So, but yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Love that. Eva, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so my thoughts on does anybody else have something to say before I get going?
Can you hear me, Robin?
I can. Who's talking?
It's Trista.
Okay, Trista, go for it.
I wanted to add really quickly that I also like to tell them when I'm having a recruiting conversation with someone, I also tell them at the end, even if it's a no, that I'm going to ask them again. You know what I mean? Like, you would be awesome at this, so I'm going to bug you again in a couple of months and see if you change your mind or if you have any questions.
Yep.
You know what I mean? In like a joking, lovingly way, but it kind of sets it in their head that they're not writing it off completely.
I love that. Love that. It's kind of like a precursor to follow-up.
Yeah. Hey, Robin, when I was leaving Summit last year and I was at the airport and, Summit's in Idaho where Cincy is, right? In Boise, Idaho. One of the ladies at the airport approached me and asked me if I'd ever heard of Coffee Tree because I had on my Cincy shirt.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah. And she was like, everyone I've called and the people that I know that do Cincy don't ever follow up and I don't know anyone here. And here I am in North Carolina and she is like one of my biggest customers and she lives 1 block away from Cincy Corporation. So I'm telling you, not everybody works their business like you guys do.
Yeah.
And you just gotta, give great customer service. I'll tell you one more thing. A girl 3 years ago at a gun show was interested in joining, but then she decided not to. And I followed up for about, I don't know, maybe 6 months, 8 months, a year. I hadn't talked to her in a while. She messaged me the other day wanting to know if I had red candy apple, and I didn't have any. But I went on the scent swap, and I asked some people for it, and I found 12. Well, I sent her those 12 candy apple. I told her I found some, and she's like, all right, just let me know. Get me as many as you can. I got them to her. She sent me a message and said, you know what? I've been watching you on Facebook. I said no a long time ago, but wow, your loyalty to your customers is incredible. I want to join your team. And it just took me finding her red candy apple. So it's all about your servant's heart, man. It's all about being consistent.
Yep.
Hey, and while we're talking about that,
I love that.
if anybody has a hedgehog, I need it.
No.
I have a girl that wants to join, and if I find her a hedgehog, she swears she's joining. Because her hedgehog passed away, and she loved him. He was so cute. His name was Bean. And she's like, girl, you got to find me a hedgehog. So I just had to throw that out there. I need a hedgehog.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. So a couple of thoughts that I had. One is recently I started I'm on a business card, postcard frenzy. Like everything's got to be small for me. Like I want it super compact because I can carry them around with me everywhere in my purse. It's summertime. It's easier to carry. I don't want to be lugging around bags and stuff with me, right? So I have this snap, click, and share to win little card. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
Right. So if you love it, then, snap a picture, tag me in it, and I'll put you in my monthly draw for Scent Circle, whatever. But that's not the part I wanted to show you. What I wanted to show you is my story. So Shannon just showed you her sticker. So I basically took my story that I've collapsed from that 3-fold page that Shannon has. I made it into a little blurb, just like on her sticker, and I put it onto a business card. So now this goes in every single sample, everything, every warmer that leaves the house, like every single thing, this is going in it everywhere. Why? Because I'm not asking someone to join, I'm sharing my love for the business and what it's done for me. Right? And at some point, hopefully in reading that little blurb, they're going to go, hey, I think I'd like that too. So that's one thing. People were talking about branding cars. So when you're driving, if you're the driver, most times, especially if you're out doing deliveries and stuff, you're the driver. I have all of my shirts with my team logo, and then it says join my team underneath on my left-hand side. So when I'm going through the drive-through, they're reading that. Like they're standing there waiting for me, and I'm taking my time getting my change every morning at the drive-through, taking my time, getting my money, and they're just sitting there, join my team, there it is. So that's another thing that we do. Bacon night. So if everybody's looking for the Become an Opportunity night, there is videos on the workstation. If you go into the training tab of the workstation, you can find out all about bacon nights, bacon taco nights. There's all kinds of stuff. What else? Okay, so talking to enough people, working the numbers. Statistically speaking, if you ask 100 people to join, a minimum of 1 will. Minimum. 1 in 10 will say yes to a party. 1 in 10 will say yes to a party. So if you think, if I can book a party, then I can flip that party. So maybe instead of always going crazy, going, I need to join someone, I need to join someone, I need to join someone, thinking about how I can share, how I can book more parties, and then flipping those parties. And then you've got your income for today, like Shannon was talking about, but you're also generating your income for tomorrow. That was one of the thoughts that I had. So if nobody else has any more, questions, that's my biggest problem, is not asking people to do a party. Gotta ask. You gotta ask. You gotta just keep asking. And it's like Shannon was saying, you know, like the only difference between a superstar director and an essential consultant is that we've heard no more times than you. Like, we're comfortable with it. Like, you could say no to me a zillion times into Sunday and I'll be like, okay. And tomorrow I'll ask again. I've got a girl at Tim Hortons. I've been working on this girl for 6 months. That girl is going to join my team. I'm telling you right now. The second we get a $59 promo, that girl's going to join.
Yes.
I'm just waiting. But you know what? I've got her in my book. And I've got a list of people in my book. I've got a list of 100 people that I work on constantly, and I change that list up, and I'm constantly going through that list of 100 people, right? And then there's highlights, and then there's little stars. I talked to her about joining on this day. I talked to her about joining on this date. And when they announce a join promo, what do you think the first thing is I do? I break out that list, buddy, because that's the gold. And what's the worst thing they can say is, you know what, I don't want to join for $59. I'd rather buy a warmer from you this month for $59. Who says that? Nobody. Nobody. Like, if you haven't followed up with your customers in 3 months, who bought from you 3 months ago? Go back through your follow-up binder. Who bought from you 3 months ago? Who bought something from you 3 months ago and you haven't had a sale from them since? Go back the second you get a join promo and follow up with every single one of those people, and boom, flip them right there on the spot. Done. You don't like the warmer in the kit? No problem. Did you know that when you're a Scentsy consultant, you can swap warmers with people? Did you know that? No, I had no idea. Absolutely, we do it all the time. What's stopping you from being a Scentsy consultant? If you don't like that warmer, join, get the kit. Once you're a consultant, we can put you into our swap group and you can swap it out for whatever one you want. You're not stuck with that warmer. Plus, you're getting a whole bunch of other stuff too, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. Any more questions? We're going to go on to homework. I know you guys are going to love homework.
Hey, Robin, you know how Sarah Robbins talks about in her Rock in Your Network business, how she talks about that if she told you that if you went into a room of 200 people, that 2 people would be your rock stars, they would join under you. How everyone would go in there and talk to all 200 to find those 2 rock stars. So you got to think about it that way, because all it takes is 1 or 2 people underneath you to just take off. And then it's going to work like a machine. If you get sick and you're in the hospital, you're still going to be able to make your residual income because people are still working their business as you're still putting in your business, $500 or however you do it. So you just got to look at it like those rock stars are out there. You just got to go find them.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a really, really valid point. And it reminds me of a girl that she's actually in this training. I don't know if she's on tonight, but she is getting the video. Her name is Hillary Provost, and she is rock star. I probably even mentioned her before. Rock star party girl, a lot like another girl on our team, Wanda. This girl, when she joined for her launch, messaged, are you ready? 350 people to book a party, not to come to her launch party, to book a party. And what she do? She booked parties from parties, parties from parties, parties from parties. That is how it's done, folks. If you are stuck in a rut right now and you need to get things moving, then you know what? You need to break out list of 100, list of 200, list of 300. There was a video floating around. I know I gave it to some of my girls. I'm sure most of the directors here found it, about not just writing your list of 100, but when you have one person pop into your head, almost do like a thought cloud around that person. Who are the other people that you know that are connected to that one person? So that you're not just limiting yourself to a list of 100, you're actually focusing in on that one person and what their network looks like around them. So that when you're having a conversation with that person about booking a party and they're like, I don't know anybody, you'll be like, oh yeah, you know this person, this person, this person. I know you know them. Like, they'll totally support you, right? Like, you need to really be thinking about not doing this in black and white, but looking for the gray. Always looking for the gray, because there's so much in between that you guys, you might not even see yet. You know what got me out of a rut? Eva's saying, home party with someone who never done a party for me, then that party booked 2 parties. You know what? That is so true. It's booking a party from a party from a party. You got to get that momentum. But unless you're willing to do what it takes to ask 300 people or whatever it takes to book that one party, to get yourself that, you got to find one party. You got to do it. You got to find that one person that'll do it, and not give up until you find it. For real. Okay. Homework. Are you ready? Is everybody ready for homework? Okay. Sorry, I'm pulling it up because I don't want to mess up the screen. I'm just pulling it up on my phone. Okay, here it comes. Now, I'm giving everybody a clean heads up here, okay? You got to do the homework. Whether you are successful or not, you still need to complete the homework. You still need to submit the form. And within the next couple of weeks, the group that we are currently in will be archived. And the people that are completing the homework will move forward into another group where we will continue onward. So I'm giving everybody fair warning right now. Nobody knows. Nobody can say they didn't know. This is going to happen. The homework's got to happen. Okay? Now, homework. Step 1. If you haven't done it already, write down your why. Right? So if you're thinking about your why, go back to the very first questionnaire we sent out right at the beginning. Why are you doing this? What would make a difference in your life if you actually made money this month? Who would you tell? Why would it make you feel successful? How would it impact your life? Look at all of those things when you're trying to figure out your why, not just I want more money. Think about all the ways it would impact your life. Step 2, 5 recruiting conversations between now and next week. 5 recruiting conversations. And if that means that you need to leave your house or force yourself to go to the store or force yourself to sit in a coffee shop or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 at the grocery store 10 times. You heard Shannon, Cracker Barrel, standing in the lineup, giving out samples, right? Got to do it. Or you could put on glasses like Mandy and just start a conversation like that. Here's step 3. You're going to join one new person to your team. Everybody ready? You're going to join one new person to your team this week. You're on a mission, and it's not because you had homework. It's because you want to build your business. And then you're going to complete the following form. So that's the form that's going to come out tonight with the recording for this training, because this is a very good training. Some people might want to listen to it 3 or 4 times. You might want to go back to it again at a later date. But it's good. In my experience, it's good to listen to things a few different times, because you might think and feel like you got it all the first time, and you're taking notes and you're like, I wrote every word down and I've got it all. And then you hear it 2 days later while you're doing laundry, you're like, oh, I'm just going to listen to it again while I'm folding, and boom, something else clicks. So take your time, go back through it and listen to it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The video of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is in the homework link. So I'm going to send out the homework link tonight. Nobody can say they didn't get it. the homework link, the steps, what is required for your homework, and the replay for this training will all be in the homework link that gets sent out tonight. So if you got the link for the call tonight and you're actually watching this video, then you will get all of this by email within the next hour. Okay? Everybody good? Any more questions? Last call for alcohol. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody's going to need alcohol after hearing they need to join a new team member this week. Okay, we're good. Thank you.
Shannon, you were awesome.
What's that, Mandy?
I said Shannon was awesome.
Shannon was absolutely incredible. She is a rock star recruiter. Thank you so much, Shannon. Thank you to all of the ladies on our panel tonight. There she is. Look at that big star next to her. I just love that. She looks so pretty tonight. Look at you, girl. Okay, that's it. That's a wrap, you guys. Love you guys, and we'll see how you go through the week. Bye.